सर नमस्कार.
Good morning, Srinivas. Good morning. Namaskar to everybody.
Sorry for late due to this some urgent assignment for director ICMIB sir.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm waiting.
Okay sir. It is pet chat. ହେଲା ଯିବା ଆସିବା କରିବା ସକାଳେ ସେଠି ଉଠିଲୁ
Hello. A very warm good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Conference of Machine Learning, Internet of Things, and Big Data. I, Nazia Zihan,
And I, Sashwat Biswal.
are honored to be your anchors for the opening session of this prestigious event.
Over the next few days, we'll be having the opportunity to hear from some of the most brilliant minds in our world of machine learning, Internet of Things, and big data. We'll explore the latest trends, advancements, and applications of these technologies, and we'll have the opportunity to engage in discussions with some of the most renowned experts in the world.
We have a rich, diverse agenda filled with exciting keynote speeches, panel discussions, and workshops that will delve into various aspects of our theme.
We'd like the following prestigious personalities in our field to come over to the dais and receive a heartfelt token of our gratitude for their time given from the busy schedules and efforts that they will be lending to our humble conference.
I would like to call Professor Satyabrata Mohanta, Director of Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang. Please, sir.
I'd like to call Professor Sasmita Mishra, head of the Department of CACA, Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang. Please, ma'am.
And now I would like to call Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik from National Institute of Advanced Studies and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Please, sir.
I'd like to call Professor Sarujananda Mishra, Department of CACA, Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang. Please, sir.
I would also like to thank Professor Siba Kumar Udgata from University of Hyderabad for presenting online with us. Thank you, sir, for your presence online.
I'd like to thank Mr. Subrat Mohanty. We'd welcome them, who is connected with us online.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call our Professor Srinivas Sethi from Department of Computer Science and Engineering and Applications from Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang.
I'd like to call Professor Sanjay Kumar Parak, Department of CACA, Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang.
Please, sir.
Please, sir.
So now I would like to invite all the respected guests to come over to the front and light the lamp. Sir. Sound control silent. Please come, sir. Yes, sir, Rajiv, sir, please come forward. Thank you so very much, everyone. So without further ado, let us commence the International Conference of Machine Learning, Internet of Things and Big Data. It is my pleasure to request Dr. Professor Satyabrata Mohanta, the Director of Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang, to preside over the meeting, who have actually given us the opportunity to able to attend and lead the prestigious conference. Please, sir. This one is for online. Please give them together. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So now I request Professor S.N. Misra sir.
Sir, please welcome. Please welcome Professor Sarojananda Mishra, the organizing chair of the conference, who has led the foundation of computer science engineering. Sir,
Very good morning to all the present over here and online, which is called of the Internet for 023. Mr. Professor Engineering, welcome to conduct in conference on machine internet data, shortly ICMIB 3. I heartfelt welcome to the technology IIT Sarang for his kind and inspiration. The conference National Infant Studies and person of the conference, University of Hyderabad, who is in honor, Sasmita Misra, Head Department of, she always in kinds of activities to happen. My sincere heartfelt thanks to Professor Srinivas Sethi, this international conference, successfully conducted. And I extend my heartfelt respect to Professor whenever required here. I extend my sincere thanks to all the participants, paper presenters, the students, and those who have contributed a lot for the grand success of this conference by spending their time, brain, and effort. Dear all, this conference will provide many information regarding the current trends and applications in machine learning, IoT, big data. Much research were like many other revolutionary technologies fiction. However, its application in real world industries are only limited by our imagination. In 2023, recent innovations in machine learning have made a great deal of tasks more than ever before, powered by data science. Machine learning makes our lives easier. Properly and complete tasks more efficient and human. By the students and professionals would highlight conference. You out the list, and to a spirit of continuing research, presentations but must go on for the development of our nation, research society, and lastly, the betterment of human race. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Now, please welcome Professor Sibakumar Udgata, who is online, who is known for his research in both theory and application of sensor networks, Internet of Things, wireless communication, intelligent algorithm. He has been working on different funded research projects on applications of sensor networks. He is currently a professor at the University of Hyderabad since 2007, and now I would like to ask Professor Sibakumar Udgata, the conference program committee chair, to share a few words with us about the conference program. Please.
Namaskar. Namaskar. So, Professor, I hope I am audible. Yeah. Professor Satyabrat Mohanto, the director of Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarah, and the president of today's meeting. Respected Professor L.M. Patnaik, the general chair of the conference. Chief guest of the function, Mr. Subrat Mohanty, executive director model, Nalco Bhubaneswar. Professor S.N. Misra, my good friend, the organizing chair of this conference. Professor Srinivas Sethi, the convener and the TPC co-chair. Professor Sasmita Misra, the head of the Computer Science Engineering and Applications Department. Professor Sanjay Patra, the other chairs and committee members of the conference, participants, authors, delegates, and my dear volunteers. A very good morning to all of you. So I, on behalf of the Technical Program Committee chairs, which comprises of myself, Professor Jiao Gao from University of Eastern Finland, Professor Srinivas Sethi from IGIT Saran, we extend you a very hearty welcome. I must say, at the outset, I extend my sincere apologies for not being able to attend this much awaited event in person, but due to some unavoidable official reason. Normally, I don't plan anything in much in advance, but I planned much in advance for this particular conference. Probably God has some other plans actually. So, although virtually, it is really a pleasure to be part of this awaited inaugural function of the third version of the International Conference on Learning, Internet of Things, and Big Data 2023, being organized by the President Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Saran, Odisha. So, in this post-pandemic scenario, we all experience this mode that in the hybrid mode of organization through a lot of challenges, and a pure online or a pure offline mode is one particular challenge, but this hybrid mode is another type of challenge. I think no word of appreciation is enough for the organizing committee to still pull it up successfully. The conference draws excellent talks and research papers, two tutorial talks by Professor Those from University of Texas, El Paso, United States of America, and Dr. Sanjay Pandey, NIT Warangal, held yesterday, that is on 10th December 2023. The overwhelming response for the tutorial talks is worth mentioning. I was told that around 500 participants registered for the tutorials, and the sessions were extremely useful. The sessions were also streamed in the YouTube platform, and many people actually this YouTube. YouTube. Now, apart from tutorials, here we have lined up several talks led by Sir Professor Mass Media Computer, University of London, Professor Jiao, Eastern Finland, Dr. Padma Kumar, researcher, the leading lecturer in British Telecom, Professor Misra, University of Cape Town, South Africa, Professor Saroj Mehta, Systems and Informatics in Indian Study Institute, Bangalore, Dr. Sik King, Senior Scientist and Head of VTT Research Center of Finland, Dr. Vijay Sahu, Regional Manager, Head Intellectual Property and Innovation Center, Visakhapatnam. And so these are the 7 speeches that were planned in the tomorrow also. I expect that all the participants will be benefited from a variety of talks here. So we are grateful to all these for inviting their time to deliver the talks. We all are looking for these talks actually. This year, we plan innovative event by the student IIT Saran and other nearby students on March 2023, and the enthusiasm of these participants are kind of really. Any conference is complete without contributions to these researchers actually. This year, particularly around 109 papers, and I 109 research full missions, and you accept 50 with an extra 25%. Considered to be very competitive in standards actually. It is not my first course. We did around 120 hours and 39 hours and 162 papers. We received accept around 55 papers. This year we received around 29 papers and we accepted around 54 actually. Increasing in of the scholars, the contributing authors are different of the globe. It includes Arab Emirates, Sweden, Kingdom, Bangladesh, and of course India. Papers are reviewed at least years and reviewers also. All papers also are plagiarism. This to be on these things actually. It was really for all, including the best paper conference. To do present keeping the stringent guides and strict approval guides in view. We take time all and contribute, and also from the technical committee, independent LM Patnaik, chair of this conference, for his timely and valuable. To imagine this conference without his excuse out and at the process. Management of the host institute, but the director, the department, CA department, the program co-chair, and convention professors in the organizing supports for the conduct of the conference, and our sincere thanks to all of them. We'd also like to place on record our thanks to all keynote speakers, tutorial speakers, reviewers, session chairs, authors, technical program committee members, various chairs to handle the finance, accommodation, hospitality, publications, and publicity, and above all, to all the student volunteers who have tirelessly worked to make this conference a very success. We are also thankful to selected papers in the lecture notes in the system series. I think it will take around more than a month to get it published after we conduct this conference actually. The organizing committee made all arrangements to make the conference enjoyable and a good learning experience for everybody. Hope all the delegates attending the sessions both in person and also in their ideas. Please take care of yourself, your loved ones, and stay safe. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and informative words. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Professor Srinivas Setty, co-chair of the conference program committee, who has been working as a reviewer, to request him to share a few meaningful words with us for this exciting program that we have in store for everyone. Please, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you be a part of this ICMIB conference as a program co-chairs. Respected General Chair, Professor Ellen Patnaik, respected Director IJD Charangs, President of these meetings, respected organizing chair, Professor S.N. Misra, respected head of the department, Professor Sasmita Misra, and respected my dear colleagues, Professor Sanjay Kumar Patra, and all delegates present with me here, and your media, TV media, print media, and all these present over this year, student also, author also. So, actually, it is a long journey from this 2020 with the help of the Professor Udgata and Professor Ellen Patnaik to carry out the process. I special thanks to them to support these facilities in IJT Sarangs, though it is a remote place from this capital of Odisha, but they help a lot to place a IJT Sarang in a better positions. Thanks. So I supposed to say nothing. All these things has been discussed by my professor committees. So thank you very much and enjoy the event. I hope all these authors, students, and the new researcher getting a new scope to do the new project, new activities, new research activities, and go ahead with this one. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Sashmita Mishra, the esteemed head of the Department at Computer Science Engineering and Application at Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology in the conference today. She has guided us as well as suggested and always humbly supported us to participate in every coming events. Today, she will be delivering a brief address about the conference. Please, ma'am.
Very good morning and welcome you all present over offline and online platform. I am extremely happy to express that our department is conducting such an international conference on machine learning, Internet of Things and big data, ICMIB, every year. This year it is the third version. On this occasion, I owe my respect and honor to our esteemed director cum patron, Professor Satyavrata Mohanta, Director IGIT Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang. I express my sincere thanks and honor to unbeatable guru in this field and genius cum General Chair of the conference, Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik, National Institute of Advanced Studies and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, respected program chairperson of the conference, Professor Sivakumar Udgata, Central University of Hyderabad. My dear participants, students and professionals, the theme of the conference is a very burning topic. It is the right platform to exchange our ideas among ourselves for the research development for the betterment of human race. We feel proud to conduct this international conference in physical mode. We are very grateful to all resource persons, those who have taken pre-tutorial sessions of the conference. Last but not the least, my best wishes from my side and all of our faculties, students and staff of our department to make this conference successful. I extend my special thanks to Professor Srinivas Sethi, professor of our department, without whom this type of international conference would not have been successfully arranged. But remember one thing, dear participants, the spirit of research must go on for the development of our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your lovely words. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is our immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed General Chair of the ICMIB, Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik, Fellow of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Fellow of the Third World Academy of Sciences, Fellow of the Indian National Science Academy, Fellow of the Academy of Sciences, Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, Fellow of the Canadian Securities Institute, Indian National Science Academy, Honorary Scientist and Adjunct Professor at National Institute of Higher Studies, Honorary Professor, Department of Electronic Systems Engineering at Indian Institute of Science, former Vice Chancellor at Defence Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune, and former Professor at IISc Bangalore, who will share his precious thoughts and insights with us.
Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik is an esteemed figure in the field of electronics, informatics, telematics, and automation. He has held numerous prestigious positions, such as the President of the Advanced Computing and Communication Society and the Computational Intelligence Society of India. In addition, Mr. Patnaik is a distinguished lecturer of the IEEE Region 10 and distinguished visitor of IEEE Computer Society of the Asia Pacific region. He is a recipient of Dr. Ramlal Wadhwa Award and the Goel Prize for Applied Science, among others. His exceptional contributions to the Indian higher technical education system are vast and cannot be summarized in a brief amount of time. Let us all give a warm round of applause as he takes the stage. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. President of the function and the Director of the Institute, Professor Mahanta, and Professor Sasmita Mishra, and we have Professor S.N. Mishra, Professor Sanjay Patra. Then among the audience, also I find Professor Rajiv, Professor Satyadas, Professor Sanjay Panda, and the program chair, Professor Sivodgata, faculty members, invitees, delegates to the conference. At the outset, as the General Chair of the conference, let me extend you all a warm welcome to this wonderful campus and the town, Sarang. I would like to congratulate the director, particularly Professor Srinivas Sethi, for having taken the pains to organize this in physical mode after a couple of occasions where we failed. We wanted to have it in the physical mode, but strong desire to organize this in physical mode was not a success because the pandemic conspired against our strong desire to have it in the physical mode, so we could not have it. As I have been telling, it is probably easy to organize a conference in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kanpur, Bhubaneswar, Raurkela, whatever it may be. But organizing a conference in a place like Sarang is, as we were joking yesterday in computer science parlance, is an NP hard problem. Is extremely tough, okay? Because you have to coordinate many things, get speakers, get keynote speakers, get authors, have the logistics, transport, accommodation. Important is internet connectivity when you are having in hybrid mode and uninterrupted power supply. There are a lot of problems, okay? In fact, oftentimes, as we say, it is Murphy's law works in these situations. When you want things urgently, most, they just don't work. So it is really a heartening thing for IGIT and Sarang and the state of Odisha for organizing this conference in a small place like this. Don't take my comment small in a negative sense. As you know, it is really tough and challenging to organize here. But I, for one, have been involved in organizing such conferences across the country in smaller places, primarily with the objective that students, faculty members in elite institutions like IIT, IISc, central universities, NITs get an opportunity to listen to speakers, attend conferences, present the papers. But the students in colleges like this or faculty members in colleges like this do not get an opportunity to present their research work in front of peers, get some comments, suggestions, and know how to present papers, what is involved, how to write papers. And the interesting part is the proceedings are printed by a very prestigious publisher, Springer Nature. So that also adds another feather to the cap of IGIT Sarang. You might have seen most of the colleges in the state have been trying hard to organize conferences, but maintaining quality, tough acceptance ratio, low acceptance ratio is a challenge. So you have been able to do this over the years. My personal appreciation and gratefulness, and I'm extremely thankful to Professor Srinivas Sethi, who has done a wonderful job over the years, untiringly contacting contacting authors, contacting speakers, involving his colleagues, students in organizing this event. We have taken the liberty of troubling him for everything, whether accommodation, transport, logistics, travel. He has exceptionally well. The organization is comparable to some of the best conferences we see elsewhere international. Only thing is the physical access is a limitation. That's why we cannot attract too many international speakers here. Probably over the years, things will improve. The theme of the conference, getting back to it, is really topical. As you can see, international conference on machine learning, internet, big data, there are hot topics. As you can see, these are some of the disruptive technologies what people have been talking about. You might have heard about this word, disruptive technologies, in the context of advancements in computer science technology. Now the question is, what generally the impact of disruptive technology? I'll give you a simple example. Someone started with this observation. You can listen to this. When television came to my house, I forgot how to read books. When the car came to my doorstep, I forgot how to walk. When I got the mobile in my hand, I forgot how to write letters. When computer came to my house, I forgot spellings. When AC came to my house, I stopped going under the tree for cool breeze. When I stayed in the city, I forgot the smell of mud. By dealing with banks and cards, I forgot the value of money. With the smell of perfume, I forgot the fragrance of fresh flower. With the comfort of fast food, I forgot to cook traditional cuisines. Always running around, I forgot how to stop. And lastly, when I got WhatsApp, I forgot how to talk. So as you can see, technology is influencing our lives in positive, negative ways. There are dramatic changes. In fact, just before starting my talk, I was talking to your honorable director, Professor Manta, what is in store for education in future, where it is taking shapes, right? We have been listening to these topics like machine learning, AI, Internet of Things. Those also have some positive impacts, negative impacts, things like bias, fairness, we will talk about. And recently, we have had the impact of ChatGPT. It has played havoc in our lives. What is in store, we just don't know. Okay? It has come to a scenario that it is becoming difficult to find out what is real, what is fake. The only thing I can guarantee that I am real, I am speaking in front of you. Okay? But then there have been many examples of using deep fake and all that, where people have seen that it is really creating a lot of problems, and papers are being published, the editors, even the plagiarism checks are failing. You are not able to find out whether it is real, or plagiarized, or authentic or not. We are in for really great challenges in future. That is where in the month of May 2023, this year, all the Nobel laureates are meeting with the best of the IT professionals, computer scientists, philosophers, psychologists to debate this issue. Trust, real, fake, what is it? What is in for it? Because people are now raising a question, if I see a journal paper in a publication, if it is fake, it is not real. If ChatGPT could produce a paper which plagiarism is just not able to detect, then it is a big challenge for top science and scientists. Society is asking a question now, do we believe science? Is science real? Are scientists real or fake? What they produce. That is why Nobel laureates are meeting in the month of May to debate this issue. They had first meeting, top Nobel laureates, several years ago to talk about sustainability, which is an important issue. Now, by how it affects science, how to detect. The challenge, the interesting part is, it is AI, machine learning algorithms, GANs, generative adversarial networks who produce these fake images, fake videos, and fake news. And we are again using machine learning algorithms, AI techniques to detect that. So that is where the future in this particular area, and that's where machine learning and AI is some topic which is affecting and influencing almost all our spheres of applications. We have talked about the IoT, Internet of Things. You know, there are all sorts of predictions. People say there are greater than 10 billion devices on the internet today. 50% of the internet users are from Asia and China. There's big usage, and whether it is healthcare, exercise, education, industrial applications, you will find more and more of these devices applied. Starting from IoT, we went to what is called industrial Internet of Things, that is power systems, telecom plants, everything connected with these devices. Now we are talking about what is called IoE, Internet of Everything, and throw open some exciting challenges. One of the challenges certainly I find is one of security. Okay, that is somewhere, sometimes we say IoT is not Internet of Things. Sometimes we joke it is Internet of Trouble. Because wherever Internet has gone, there is some trouble, some problem. As you can see, all these spam mails, viruses, connection of number of heterogeneous devices with okay? And security challenges again because of the internet connectivity and number of devices being connected to that without complying with any standards. So people are now worried about how to ensure security. For example, you have a driverless car. If it is operated, it's a wireless mechanism, somebody has access to it and accelerates the vehicle, it will meet with an accident. There is a pacemaker in a patient's body, and someone somehow or other hacks and makes it run faster, the patient will die. Okay? So there are problems of this type, and we know we today depend more and more on wireless technology or wireless medium, which is easy as far as security is concerned. It is highly insecure. An open research problem come increasing the number of, but increase the number of bits, there is more bandwidth required, more of a having algorithms about energy efficient of energy and which consumes, talking about a side of the physical world. Physical world could be a power plant, could be a telecom network, or it could be a patient, it could be a medical system or a biomedical system, anything. So in a CPS, the cyber world, the cyber system essentially does the processing and takes the signal to use A to D converters, D to A converters and all that. So when you talk about industry 4.0 or industry 4, which uses CPS extensively, you have AI, machine learning algorithms, I and machine learning algorithms and AI probably go back to back because who generates the data? We say we need extensive amount of data for machine learning algorithms, and these are generated by these diverse systems, physical systems, plants, biomedical systems, large number of the There have been many of the other advances that were being talked about yesterday. We heard about quantum computing, NLP, number of them. IBM has been talking about coming up with a quantum computer with about 1,000 qubits. Hopefully things will improve, but one has to wait, watch and see whether there will be a substitute to a silicon-based computer what we find in front of us. Can it be a general purpose computer what we have been seeing? Pandemic has thrown challenges, as I can see, in two particular areas, healthcare and education. We had the biggest of the challenge in healthcare. It is not only doctors who saved our lives, it is doctors plus engineers, particularly computer science. Good ventilators, but not only mechanical engineers, there are control system engineers, electronics engineers to come up with these things. And it could have been we could do that in hardly body. You want to come up with a molecule in the body. So there is called a spike. So this sent out the previous types of things, like we had things we looking at because a molecule has atoms. Means of a function and try to molecular pattern used and see what you can learn from that and how this bindings and what drugs were used, what vaccine was used, is possibly into the advanced study. Because you could search huge the previous, okay? There are many in India we did some work and didn't you amount of time. If you molecules, you do this amount of computation time. Computer you should what the summer thing which is going to throw yes. I started a medical school in the campus. Big medical schools, Indian they didn't want to go out of the aim is people expect the thing of a breeze but the country who are engineers, engineering, computer science, health, even those of you who work some tumor mammograms, get the epilepsy detection using going to is education. In pandemic, we did a real thing. There is 7 minutes. It is extreme. Okay. Is coming up called learning analytics. They collect huge amount of fees. Analytics learns. Hopefully, if we are forced with that, we should do much better in online education. Okay, what we did was not acceptable. We didn't conduct examinations properly. The evaluation was not proper. The interaction was not proper. There were problems. As I said, it was a jugaad. There were problems at all stages. But now you see NEP, your National Education Policy, talks about distance education, talks about online education. Institutions have to do that. They will give degrees. It will be accepted. We are online distance modules. Now, you know, people are using extensively Coursera, NPTEL, whatnot courses. In fact, you go to class in machine learning, by the time you teach something about CNN, DAN and all, they are already familiar. They have done these things. They have taken a course with Professor Andrew Yang and have had this tutorial and done all that thing. So now the question comes, then what is the role of the teacher? What will you do? The role of the teacher primarily will be to come up with better packages, better algorithms, and how to build in experiential learning into this. That is what I was telling precisely. These two sectors face a lot of challenges in future, both healthcare and education. Education starting from school level, right up the graduate PhD level education, because people want to use these packages more and more in future. Some of these things do talk about interdisciplinary work, like our NEP has been talking about interdisciplinary culture. That is, you want to interact not only among different disciplines of engineers, you should talk to people who specialize in philosophy, social science, liberal arts, which is a must. NEP says you can probably die. Now the question is, Why should you do that? In fact, if you look at some of the famous statements, Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, said, it is technology married with liberal arts, married with humanities, that yields as a result that makes our hearts sing. That is, they want engineers to know a little bit of liberal arts as well. That is, the reason that Apple created products like iPad is because we have always tried to be at the intersection of technology and what NEP is emphasizing now. So one of the things during online teaching we found is the ADS, what it's called, attention deficiency syndrome. The students are not able to pay attention to the class and the studies. There is substantial amount of research is going on. How do you get over this problem of ADS, starting from school children to higher level? You can talk about surprise tests, quizzes, questions. With all that thing, it becomes very difficult. There are talks of using telehealth concepts, machine learning algorithms and all. Where did AI come handy during COVID-19? Early warning and alerts, tracking and prediction, then data dashboards, diagnosis, treatments, and social contacts. We have seen extensive amount of use of robot stock, right? And in a country like Japan, for elderly care, they're using robots extensively. We may not be far off in this country to get into that situation. We have, with the longevity increasing, substantial number of aged people, old age homes and all, it is becoming difficult to get people to take care of them. So maybe robots will come handy. That is where you have all this emotional analysis, sentiment analysis, consciousness, all that thing will come very handy and important in the context of robotics, and machine learning will play a major role in this context as well. If you look at the work during the COVID, 39% of the work on prediction diagnosis was done using deep learning. Next, 37% of the research was using some other machine learning algorithms. Only 20% of the work was done using the statistical models. So during COVID, almost like 70-75% of the work was using the algorithms and techniques. We were talking about fake news and all that thing. Some of you would have watched I read this article in Scientific American. You might have seen there was a reporting item in TV. There is a famous comedian and director called Jordan Peele who imitated Barack Obama. He appeared like Barack Obama in his black suit, tie, and Barack Obama makes some comments about Trump. It was a nasty comment. Okay, people couldn't believe. But they analyzed very seriously, looked at that. It has been created by deepfake. They analyzed that the nasal accent is not correct. It is not Obama's. And the lower lip movement between the two halves, it looks artificial. So when deep research was done, they found out the algorithm is goofy. It was not implemented properly. So they found not Obama appearing there, but Jordan Peele appearing there as talking as Barack Obama and making this statement. And many of you would have visited this site, www.thispersondoesn'texist.com. You can find that you take nose from somebody, eyes from somebody, lips from somebody, hair from somebody, generate a celebrated figure. You can't make out. Okay. So that is what is happening. If you look at that since its release, researchers have been grappling with the ethical issues surrounding ChatGPT, because it is like human-like text it is writing, publishing papers, publishing theses. People have used it to find out, give an assignment to students, it solves the assignment problem. And it goes one step more, because whenever I have a little bit of free time, I try to play with it. it goes one step beyond. It tries to tell that, look, this solution is not by the student, it is by chatbot. It looks at that. So it is quite exciting. It cuts jokes and all that stuff. So what is in store using that, you just don't know. So the summary, the OpenAI creator, ChatGPT, the CEO says, making the AI stick to the truth remains a serious issue. They can be automated to generate misinformation at unprecedented scale. If you look at the diagnosis and find out percentage work, it does almost as good as humans, are much better than that. Sometimes the human beings are not able to differentiate and tell what is real and fake. It has done a little bit better. So these are all, again, thanks to this one. If you talk about AI, machine learning algorithms, we talk about fairness, and there is ethics. For example, you have a driverless vehicle, there is some algorithm used. If the vehicle finds a pedestrian in front, should it kill the pedestrians, hurt the pedestrian, or hurt the people sitting inside? It is an ethics issue. So there are what are called dilemmas. There is a famous dilemma called prisoner's dilemma. Two prisoners are put in the cell, prison cell, and how they give their statements so that they get least amount of imprisonment. It has been extended in the computer science and other parlance called deadly dilemma. Okay, where you get into situations like this. So ethics, all the things, dilemmas have been characterized using some mathematical functions. A lot of computer scientists are working, developing algorithms and all that thing. And right now the machine is intelligent, but it's not conscious like us. So how can you make it conscious like human beings? Add something to that. So these are some of the things what one can see in the future as challenges. Like we talk about fairness. There was a tool called Compass, which is very famous in US. It was used for legal applications. Suppose a criminal goes, the judge has to decide whether he or she should get a bail. The tool was used. Because how do? You look at the past history of the criminal. Based on that, the decision is bail has to be granted or not. It was found that the tool was favoring white criminals more often compared to black. There have been also tools, there have been also cases, algorithms are not failed, they are gender biased, they are race biased, and all that thing. After all, who is generating the data? You say today AI, machine learning is advancing because of high performance computing and enough of data. Nothing else, no magic. We were all doing neural networks, AI 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It was all there. There is no big deal. Okay. We have parallelized, done that thing, used neural networks. But suddenly it has caught on because there is a high performance computer, huge amount of data. But the question is, who is generating the data? You and I. If we are biased, we are giving biased data to that, obviously the decision will be biased. So there are some public domain tools to how to get over this bias issue and all that stuff, and how to make it fair. These are the challenges. So essentially, the summary for this is it is we who have to do that, because there is already a debate that will these machines overtake us? Will robots not listening to us? Will they go on strike? But the question is, who is developing the algorithm? Who is writing the code? You and I do. Only we are messing it up. Like we have messed up nuclear energy, we have messed up fire, we have messed up internet. So if you do that with machine learning and AI, we will have problems. There is no question of blaming that it is ML which is creating problems, bias, and all that thing. So these are some of the interesting and challenging issues what one will see in future. In fact, industry is also concerned that see, Mark Zuckerberg was suspected of having lapses related to breach of data privacy. You know that. And the chief operating officer of Facebook, like Sheryl Sandberg said, we really believed in social experiences. We believed in protecting privacy, but we were too idealistic. We didn't realize the real situation. So one has to be concerned and addressing these issues in general when you talk about technology. That is because when you develop something, it is for the welfare of society. That is where in the pressure we talk about sustainability. Okay. In fact, there is an area which is coming up now called computational sustainability. People working in AI, machine learning, simulation, modeling, high performance computing are all driven towards computational sustainability, because the feeling is the earth has given enough for our need, not for our greed. We have to make sure that our great grandchildren also have the same amount of resources what we have. So it is the responsibility of the engineers, computer scientists, people who work in ML and all that thing, to be a little bit of responsive to society, what you develop, like issues like sustainability, fairness, bias, truth, rumors. As we said, when Nobel laureates are concerned, meeting in May, obviously it is a serious issue. They had one meeting on sustainability, second is on this one, fairness and truth. So it is the responsibility of people who develop algorithms, use data, to be aware of these issues. I am sure some of these interesting things will be discussed in this meeting. Wish you all the best. Have a great fun. Bande Utkal Janani. Okay. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your gracious words. As the conference progresses, it is with great pleasure that we welcome Mr. Subrat Mohanty, Executive Director, Business Development, Nalco Bhubaneswar. He connected to us online. Unfortunately, he is not present over here, or he is not connected over here. A souvenir serves as the reminder of a particular event, and in the case of ICMIB 2023, it serves as a mirror image of the program. It is an inclusive representation of the conference, reflecting every aspect of the event. By going through this souvenir, attendees can revisit and relive their experiences at ICMIB 2023, while those who miss the event can have an idea of the happenings and the key people involved.
The souvenir showcases contents of the program, coupled with various paper abstracts and details of the organizing committee, provides a comprehensive insight into the conference's goals, objectives, and accomplishments. In essence, this souvenir represents a visual and textual documentation of ICMIB 2023, reflecting the hard work, dedication, and expertise of the people who organized and participated in the event. So, presenting to you a souvenir for ICMIB 2023.
Good morning, everyone. Now, I, Sanskriti Tripathi,
and I, Subhanshu Kumar Misra,
take great pleasure to invite our esteemed director, Professor Satyabrata Mohanta, to address the honored guests, distinguished speakers, and esteemed attendees. Professor Mohanta has been instrumental in the growth and development of our institution, and we are grateful for his leadership and guidance.
under his visionary leadership, IGIT has achieved many milestones and has become one of the premier institutions in the country. His commitment to academic excellence, innovation, and research has been exemplary, and we are proud to be a part of an institution that has such a distinguished leader. Yes, sir.
So, respected delegates on the desk, of the desk, in physical mode or that online mode, and respected faculty members and all the participants. On behalf of the Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang, I welcome all of you for this third international conference on machine learning, IoT, and big data. So particularly, I am very much thankful for this organizer, those who have organized this international conference. And I also want that each and every department should organize such kind of conference so that our student will get an opportunity to learn something. And as far as the topic is concerned, the topic is very broad. That is machine learning, IoT, and big data. Each term itself is a very broad. So I think by looking, targeting the audience group, they have selected this kind of topic. And undoubtedly, these things are very, very important and challenging in Indian perspective. The moment we are formulating one research problem, all of a sudden we are jumping to a very hi-fi international kind of thing. For example, here, before I think 2-3 months, I met the research head of Mercedes-Benz at Bangalore. Already they are doing high quality research. If the driver is feeling sleepy or he's in an off mode, already it will be detect and the engine will be switched off. So we cannot compete with them. The thing is that in our institute itself, lot of research problems are there. Well-defined research problem, but it is not visible to us. In this room, lot of research problem, standard research problems are there, but it is not visible to us. And I want to mention here why this machine learning, IoT, and big data plays an important role. In near future, it is more than 200% sure. All these unskilled and semi-skilled job will be taken up by the machine. That is no doubt about it. So that we have to consider the unemployment of our society as far as Indian society is concerned. What the person will do. And in our institute only, I have seen, suppose now we are purchase all those washing, that machine, vacuum cleaner, all those things. What will happen to that sweeper? And we have to train him so that he can operate that vacuum cleaner and he will survive. And last Saturday, I think I had been to 2-3 mines to collect some data. Last Saturday, drastical change I have seen. I have visited those mines just before Corona, and after Corona, things has totally changed. Their manpower, or means everything is done by the machine itself. Even that pollution control, the person who is responsible for the pollution, in that department only one person is there, and everything is mentioned, that online data they are collecting and how to prevent that from there itself he is controlling. So the thing is that what I want to mean, or what I want to say, instead of jumping into a very big problem, sometimes we are thinking that if I will take some local problem, my research is somewhat, this is some ordinary quality or something. No, that is not at all. We have to first, whatever the topic we'll select, that must have some need of the society. Sita, in the society must need that. To solve that problem only, I have to fix my research topic. And what more I can tell, already Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik sir has gave a brief, very, very brief and very good, all those kind of idea regarding that machine learning, IoT, and big data. And I want that we have to make our student compulsory to attend this kind of that conference, so that the student will get an overall idea that in which direction the society is moving. And unless otherwise, here we are doing a lot of research and so many things. But what is our that, do you mean say, till that we are not capturing the global market. We are not the leader of the global market. And unless otherwise, you will not become the global market for a particular field. Our unemployment problem will not solve. That's why by looking at our that new education, that national education policy, already we are going to change our all those course curriculum, and in future also we are going to change so that the placement scenario has changed. So according to that, we have to modify everything, starting from the classes, taking the classes, attendance and salary, the student attendance, their examination, everything we have to modify. So I think here this seminar will be useful for each and every participant, and I request all of you to take the advantage of this. Sometimes, particularly to the students, they are taking the conference very lightly. No. One single idea will change your lifestyle. That is sure. And this is the best platform to get that kind of idea. So thank you all.
With due permission from the President and General Chair, so I request Professor Lalitman sir to declare this the result of the study programs project.
You see, he is opening in front of everybody. Yes. So that people don't say it has been tampered. Yes. Okay. Good morning. Yesterday afternoon, we had the project demo competitions. There were, I think, about 10 entries. All the entries were excellent. Okay. After all, in this type of entries, we cannot expect people to complete everything. If it is complete, you will go for a patent or a publication. Undergraduate students, when they come up with interesting ideas, it has to be encouraged. So they were from different departments. Of course, predominantly, most of them were computer science. The committee looked at that, Professor Rajiv, Professor Sanjay, and Professor Satyadas, and I was also there in that. We had really a pleasant experience. The committee interacted extensively with the students. They were also quite responsive. The ideas were really good. I would like to congratulate all the students on behalf of all of us and the management for encouraging this. They have come up with really good ideas. See, they have to be taken forward. You should not feel bad that sometimes we may be bordering and sounding harsh. We were asking questions. But that is to encourage you, give you feedback. That's all. We were not critical of your ideas, because you submit a journal, the reviewer really tears you apart. A good reviewer gives all sorts of criticisms, starting from your English. But we should not misunderstand. It is to improve. So there is a lot of scope. So I will announce, I was told by the organizers, they have agreed to give 3 prizes, probably one may be a special prize over and above that. I will go in the reverse order. The third prize is Biswajit Sahu and group. So to announce, the first prize is 2,000 rupees, second is 1,500, third is 1,000, and the special prize maybe 2,000. Okay. So Biswajit Sahu, is it that? Announce. Okay. The second one is Saurav Tripathi. Okay. First one, any guess? No guess. Soumya Prakash Mishra. Okay. The committee unanimously felt that we should give a special prize because the work was done by a school student, 6th standard, I think. So it is an unfair comparison to compare undergraduate students with a 6th standard student. He is talking about Python programming, CNN, fuzzy logic, machine learning at that level. So if you judge by perfection, completion, and he talks about false positive, false negative, okay, all these precision, accuracies, everything, so confidently, we were impressed. Of course, there are suggestions for improvement. So it will not be a fair comparison to put him in the same basket and do that. So there was a special prize declared to Nadia and Pratik Sethi. That will be again 2,000 rupees. Okay. Congratulate all of you on behalf of the committee. Thank you. And I would like to thank my fellow judges and expert members who were very helpful in giving the input and coming with the unanimous decision. That is important in a committee. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request the prize winner to take a certificate from this guest. Sir. Biswajit Chau. Say it. Madam, Saurav Tripathi.
Soma Prakash Patil. Mr. Soma Prakash Mishra. Asal kau sih seperti itu? Allah, emang ada politik itu?
And Nadia and Pratik.
Jo, udah gini saja orang susah nih. Nadia Pratik. For all other participants, we'll hand over the certificate after this. I request all the judges.
मेमेंटो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अच्छा ठीक है
I request Director sir to felicitation the
General Chair, Professor Ellen Putin. हाँ सर हाँ चलिए कंफर्टेबल लगे हाँ भाई बैग रो काढा ಇದು बैग गिफ्ट अच्छा ते प्रैक्टिस कला पर भी बैग रे कोन अच्छा काढ दे ए मा संदेश का बैग काढ बैग रू काढंतु बैग रू काढंतु काढंतु ना गिफ्ट अब गिफ्ट पड़वाला शब्द दौड़ ओके हाँ जो सर सर टिक्की सर अंदर दे I request Professor Ellen Budnesa to felicitate our director. Disturb करने. I request Professor Ellen Budnesa to felicitate our General Chair, Professor S.N. Mishra, sir. Madam. कुछ डिस्टर्ब करना होता है गिफ्ट आने पे कोई गिफ्ट I request Professor Ellen Budnesa to felicitate our head of the department, Professor Mr. Ruo, ठीक है Ruo. I request our director to felicitation our guest, Professor Sanjay Panda. जल्दी जा रहे मतलब जल्दी आना मतलब I request our director of felicitation Rajiv Kant. Gift and lucky. Gift वाला. वो कितना? I request our general organizing chair, Professor S.N. Mishra sir, to felicitation Professor S.N. Das. Hello. Okay, really. Okay. I request our general chair to felicitation our convener, co-convener Sanjay Patra, Sanjay Patra sir. Okay, really. Okay, Sandy. Salah pa. बाकी राहिले.
So I would like to request Helen Patnaik sir to felicitate our convener, Srinivas Sethi sir. Today you have spent millions for us. Thanks to all of our for making this event successful, and have a wonderful staying at IGIT Sarang. So enjoy the conference and campus life in IGIT Sarang. So we hand together to make grand success of our event and enjoy our moment, each moment of our international conference ICMIB 2023. So Mr. Chairman, President, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to all the speakers on this stage. We thanks for being with us in this special occasion. It's being a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you all. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you, sir. The meeting is now officially over. We will now proceed to the keynote talks of the conference. So first, for the first keynote talk, we will extend a warm welcome to Professor Bibhu Prasad Panigrahi, sir, the Dean PGSR of our college, and express our gratitude for his presence here today. We are grateful for his support and guidance.
Panigrahi to address our first keynote speaker of the event and the esteemed audience.
Thank you, sir. Awesome.
Keynote on as a third keynote speaker today.
These are legend of this department.
Yeah.
So it is not like an individual air conditioning where when someone is not there, you switch it off. You cannot switch it off. Even if there's one person in the entire building, you cannot switch it off. So, and in that case, there are several input points like centralized air conditioner has many parts, like you have a chiller and you have a AHU, air handling unit, and then you have final thermocouple settings. So in chiller, you have 5 different components like condenser, compressor, evaporator, and all those things. And each one of have them the same setting. So in the entire central air conditioning system, even if it is connected to one room, there are 10 different type of setting. And each setting has an impact on energy consumption. What is the optimum temperature? So we have done several projects, and using the linear programming or operational research, we find best optimum configuration for every condition. And remember, this configuration changes when the outside weather changes. So there are very many factor that is affecting us. For example, the shape of the building, although your capacity of the building will remain same, but how it is oriented with respect to the sun, the power consumption changes, because if it is facing the sun directly, it will have a different power consumption profile versus those which is not facing directly. So your size, shape, and orientation of building plays an important role. And therefore, you cannot have a universal optimization that you optimize this and it is true. For every building, one need to have. So what we have done, we collected data for 3 years, and we have optimized using the operational research. And these things are available online. I mean, as my paper, one can go and study. So I've already explained you. So one result that I want to discuss is, so in the chiller, so there are 3 main units of centralized air conditioning. One is chiller, another is your air handling unit, and third one is the temperature setting in your room. So the input and output temperature of the water cooled chiller has lots of impact. What we found that if you increase, if you decrease the setting of chiller by 1 degree Celsius, there is a 4.5% more consumption of energy. And at any moment of time, we found that 3 to 4 degree, I mean, the operator of the chiller, they always put it at the minimum position to ensure there is a good cooling that is happening. And we found that we can always save with this optimization 3 to 4 degrees Celsius, and result is very amazing. We have done in numbers of buildings. We have done around 50 buildings kind of thing. Multi-stories means 25 floor or 21 floor kind of thing. And we could save, you can see from this, 1 degree can save us 4.5% of energy. Even if you are saving 3 to 4%, we have a saving of 13 to 18% of the energy. From the cost perspective, in every building we saved 11,200 AED. AED is the local currency. One AED is equivalent to 22.5 rupees. You can convert. In every building, we reduce the electricity bill of, I think, 1.5 lakhs Indian rupees. I have told you like 638 gram of carbon dioxide is poured into the environment if you're consuming 1 unit of electricity. But there's another important fact. One full-grown banyan tree can compensate 21 kg of our carbon dioxide per year. And if you take any typical building, so what happens to, you need one tree to compensate 21 kg of our carbon dioxide. And if you reduce this 13 to 18%, it means it is equivalent of having 10,000 full-grown tree. This result is already published, and this is a very good result. So the conclusion is, I have told you that for sustainability of the environment, carbon emission need to be reduced, and carbon emission is directly proportional to the GDP growth. No one would like to stop their economic growth. So in that case, we have only one option to reduce the, minimize the wastage of electricity. And with such technology, the two technologies that I have told you, using the operational research and machine learning, you can optimize the settings, numbers of settings that is there to reduce the electricity bill. At the same time, you can have such device where NILM can be implemented, and in the government offices or any other offices, enterprise level energy policy can be enforced, where wastage of electricity can be identified and can be eliminated. So this is all about, and now I am opening the floor for any questions if you have any. Is the organizer there?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm on behalf of organizers, sir. So thank you for your valuable speech, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, sir.
and we will give you skill and also taking your idea into a product and giving a product to the market, particularly in the changing paradigm of ecosystem of innovation when government of India has a great leverage and ecosystem on Startup India, Make in India, Self-Reliance India, and we recognize your innovation effort. We handhold, we support, we validate, we commercialize, we monetize your idea into a product. That's our role, that's our mandate, and also women towards entrepreneurship and skill. To many more such young women towards entrepreneurship in need of the hour. That's our objective in connecting with you all. So thanking you all for giving this opportunity and God bless you. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.
Thank you.
Any query, please? We can have another 5 minutes, and I have to leave because topic may not be interesting for you, but at the end of the day, when you will go to the market for getting a job, on that day you will realize skill and innovation is most important than books of information. So we have to be practical, we have to be market oriented, because at the end of the day we need life.
Captains South Africa. So is the great researcher and renowned personality in terms of their research and academics and also industry academic programs, and he has a lot of experience in the case of biomedical science, data analytics, and in our in our cases, in the corona pandemic time period also, he has a lot of experience for this handling this corona activities and study of the corona virus. So overall, we can say that he is a good researcher. It is a icon for this new researcher. They can new researcher get this benefit from him, and all having this lot experience to express before this audience. So I hope the audience will be getting the benefit from this from his talk. So I request Professor Amit to start this session. Please.
Thank you, Professor. I'll just try to share my screen. Let me know if there is any trouble. Is my slide visible?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. And my voice also clear?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Professor Sethi, for organizing this short talk.
Sir, one point, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, sir, in between any issue, then I just towards
yes.
Message
Yes,
through the WhatsApp.
That's right.
Any noise, or
no,
so don't mind, sir.
Then I'll also
So
switch on my WhatsApp.
because you are in the no, sir, not sir. WhatsApp,
Yes,
the WhatsApp so that I can send the message to you regarding any noise. Particularly, visualization is not
The
an issue
audio.
for our cases, but in the case audio problem maybe in some cases audio problem may arise. So I may be sir.
No problem. No
I
problem.
think otherwise I so that I'll be send message. Okay.
Thanks. So when Professor Sethi asked me to think of a topic to talk about, then I was thinking, okay, I can talk about technical things, but we are actually experiencing some unprecedented times currently. So many new innovations are taking place. As we speak, in the just last 2 months, you all might have seen the level to which ChatGPT has started affecting us. My own students in software industry, they have started experiencing a much more efficiency in terms of what they were doing. Like things that they used to take almost a week, now they can finish within half a week because of the help that they get from ChatGPT. So we are in a very interesting period of time. There are lots of marketing people, lots of people who try to use terms like Industry 4.0, and nowadays we're also using terms like Industry 5.0. So I thought, let us have a critical analysis of these phrases that people often use without thinking much. I've also seen that my friends in industry, they also use terms like IoT so often, like without even thinking what it stands for. They just use those terms. So in this talk, I will take a deep dive into the meaning and implications of Industry 4.0. Then we'll slowly move to the current wave of regulations that are being termed as Industry 5.0, and we'll look into some challenges. I will end with some of my own work in this broad topic of Industry 4.0 and 5.0. Right. So this is a bed. Okay. If I show you this bed, just have a look at that and think how comfortable the bed looks, or like how I'm pretty sure many of you have much better bed at home now, because you can see that this bed frame is made of some kind of wrought iron, and the design is quite awful, and the bedding, the mattress doesn't look very comfortable. And so then question is, which bed is this? So this bed actually belonged to Emperor Frank Joseph, who was the emperor of Austro-Hungarian Empire. And that was not long back, actually. That was around the First World War. So the First World War was when the Austro-Hungarian Empire fell. So this was the bed of one of the most powerful persons on earth in 1914, 1913. And fast forward 100 years, now every middle class person has got a better and more comfortable bed. My point is that in just a matter of 100 years, we have moved a lot in terms of innovations, designs, also wealth. So now let us think what exactly is industrial revolution. So the word revolution is a powerful one. We should not use it loosely. So many people think that industrial revolution is about technical innovations. So for example, they try to think that the first industrial revolution started with the innovation or invention of steam engines. But from that point of view, innovations have been happening throughout human history. Human history is a continuous story of lots of innovations and some really breathtaking ones like wheels, windmills, and geometry. None of them really has been termed as a revolution. So what exactly happened to call it a revolution? Let us now put that in context. Technical innovations aside, what else happened? What else was so drastic that it can be now called a revolution? So this is what some economists call the great enrichment of Northern America and Western Europe. Between 1800 and 2000, just 200 years, not many years. That's like very tiny part if you compare the whole of human history. In just 200 years, the average person in these countries, their wealth has increased 30 to 40 times. And that is real income, excluding inflation. So, and that's a big number. Imagine, let us say your income currently is, I don't know, I'm just guessing, 40,000 rupees. If tomorrow you become 30 times richer, that's a huge leap. That is what you can call as real disruption. It's a real revolution. Just in 200 years, 30 times increase. And that is why it is called revolution. Many people don't really understand why they are called revolutions. So over the past 200 years, we have witnessed so-called 3 phases of revolutions. Even though some economists actually say that it's only one initial revolution which has started and then other things are just incremental. But whatever has happened in 200 years, it has made common people in Western Europe and Northern America 30 times richer, right? So what exactly happened? And we have discussed that technical innovations have happened all the time. Some people may say that, okay, during that time, market became a thing, like commercialization became a thing, world commerce became a thing. Not really, because the whole world was functioning quite efficiently in terms of commerce for a long time. Imagine Silk Route. Long back, people would be taking silk from China all the way to Middle East and Europe. And there was a very well-established trade network. There is a very well-established network of lending and banking and all those things. Those things are also not something that happened in the last 200 years. Let us also see what happened around the time when steam engines were invented. So steam engines were invented around early 1800. Late 18th century, like 1774. Trade union legislation was passed. So trade unions were made legal in factories. And 1807, slave trade was banned in the whole of British Empire. So you can see that this thing, this kind of trend that is happening, and it all happened simultaneously. So that was the acknowledgement of human life. Before that, only the rich, the aristocrats, they had a human life. Other people didn't really matter. They were just laborers working like robots. Their life didn't matter. Now with these things, their life started mattering. Now you can ask, okay, how does it really matter in terms of science and innovation? 2 things. Number one, when common people's life matter, when common people feel empowered, that is when the power to innovate is also democratized. So before, if you see all the big scientists and the mathematicians, mostly a life who had a content life, they didn't have to think about food for tomorrow. Not many scientists and engineers and mathematicians actually came from the lowly classes. Nobody was a peasant. Nobody was a farmer. They all were aristocrats. That is why the the set of people who could innovate was very, very tiny. When you make everybody almost equal, then you are also giving them the power to become innovators. When you have got factory legislation, trade unions, which means that you have got a guaranteed decent income, you have got benefits when you face accident, you have got your pension, then you don't have to really think that how innovation was democratized by what is called the idea of liberalism. Before that, liberalism was not a thing. And more economists now agree that liberalism, or the idea of liberalism, was that stone that started making all the revolutions happen. So that is the snowflake that started the avalanche. Let's now relook at the industrial revolutions. The first industrial revolution, the main technical innovation was steam engine, and still innovating good quality steel making. Of course, steel making was there in India at a much higher quality long before that, but making them industrialized, making them large scale, that happened in that time as well. Also, thanks to steam engine as well, because of steam engine, they could make huge machines which could do the steel making at a much larger scale. The ideological revolution that happened around that time was liberalism, which was demonstrated by the starting of trade unions and factory acts, etc. Second IR, industrial revolution, the main technical innovations that happened, which were ascribed to second industrial revolution, are the explosion in the number of innovations, like electricity, IC engines, standardization of process, which made mass production possible. Ideologically, these two things started at that time: individualism and rationalism. By that second one, rationalism, people started thinking scientifically. And again, these things are all enabling common people to become innovators, and thereby increasing the set of people who can be scientists and engineers and mathematicians and innovators. Third industrial revolution, the main technological innovations that happened around that time: telecommunication, IT, computers. Ideologically, these things happened. Humanism as a phrase started to occur at that time. Democracy or universal suffrage, where everybody could vote, also happened that time. And during that time, that stage of 10, 20 years after the Second World War, lots of colonies got independence. So the idea of humanism and democracy, they not only got mature in the Western Europe and Northern America, they also got exported to the rest of the world. And thereby, again, heavily increasing the set of people who could innovate, could consume, could become scientists and engineers and innovators and businessmen. Now, you can say, okay, during those times, it was like nothing was there, so there's lots of opportunities, so economy could blow up like that. But that's not really true. Recent cases, this is a recent example of average income of Poland between 1995 till 2021, around 20 years, let us say. The income has become almost 10 times. 20 years, 10 times. That, like 10 times means almost 1,000%. That's a lot of increase in wealth. So this is still possible. So when we talk about Industry 4.0, we should also think in terms of economy. We should also think in terms of average income of a common person. Unless and otherwise, we can guarantee that whatever technological things you are talking about, if that can actually make the common Indian, the common African, at least 2 times richer in the next 10 years, then only we can actually call it a revolution. And if you see this example, the Polish people became 10 times richer in 20 years. So in 10 years, we should at least be able to guarantee 5 times richer, isn't it? So unless your technological innovations, unless whatever you are claiming as Industry 4.0, unless that can actually guarantee that your common African, common Indian, common South American will become at least 5 times richer in the next 10 years, we should not be calling it revolution. So that is the more philosophical or ideological point of Industry 4.0. Let us now come to the technological part. So of course, so my point is that there are two parts of every revolution, every industrial revolution. One is technological part, second is ideological part. Now we have seen that ideologically speaking, for Industry 4.0, we means engineers and policymakers should always think and think hard about how exactly common Indian can become 10 times richer in the next 5 years. That should be the focus. That is the ideological thing. Now let's come to the technological thing. Technologically speaking, what exactly is happening in Industry 4.0? If you ask 5 different people in the room, they will ask to putting that in a framework where you can think openly without accepting one or two lines as the definition of Industry 4.0. Let us try to open our minds and think a bit broader context. We have seen one aspect of Industry 4.0, the economic aspect, that we have to keep in mind all the time. Now let us come to the technological aspect. What exactly, just like first IR happened because of steam engine, second one happened because of mass production, what exactly is happening that can be called as Industry 4.0 in terms of innovation? Now, these are some of the things that people ascribe to when they are talking about Industry 4.0. They say that Industry 4.0 is all about AI, inexpensive sensors, genetics research, robotics, telecommunications, AR, VR. Like, okay, what exactly is Industry 4.0? You are now giving the whole science syllabus to me. We don't want that. We want somehow to define what exactly is Industry 4.0. Now, let us look at this curve. So this curve shows the number of patents filed. Now, the number of patents filed over the years. If you don't look at the time between 2020 and onwards, then the curve looks almost linear. Right? So there is a linear increase in the number of patents, and let us assume that the number of patents filed is kind of showing the number of the amount of innovation happening. So it was linear. What happened after 2018? If you add that part, then it looks exponential. And that is the beauty of exponential curve. For a long time, the exponential curve will look as if it is linear, but suddenly it will show its exponential power. And let us go back to this thing. It's called Fueller's knowledge doubling curve. I don't know how many of you remember or know Buckminster Fuller. So Buckminster Fuller was an architect. We scientists know him, at least I know him, because during my JEE preparation, there was this carbon molecule which looked like a ball, and its structure looked like something that Buckminster Fuller designed as an architect. So the ball is called Buckminster Fullerene to ascribe to that. That's how I knew Fuller. Now then, much later, recently in the last 5-6 years, I also came about Fuller's knowledge doubling curve. So Fuller was also a philosopher in addition to being an architect. He showed that knowledge has been doubling almost every 1.5 to 2 years. Right? And when certain thing doubles at the fixed rate, that is exactly what is called an exponential curve, right? If you remember that story when that guy goes to the king and the king was very happy and he says, okay, ask whatever you want. The guy says that I want 1 grain of rice on the first day, second day 2 grains, and third day 3 grains. And some story says that that was the guy who invented chess. So the emperor was very happy. So, and he told that I just want that, and every day you increase the number of rice twice, and 64 squares are there in the chessboard. So I just want this to happen for 64 days. The emperor told what is so saying? It's a funny thing. So he said yes. And within 10-12 days, emperor's rice go down were all empty. Now, if you do the math, you will realize that not only that, if the emperor we are living now and was the emperor of the whole world, if you take all the rice existing in the world now that also cannot fulfill the 64th square number of rice. So that is the magic of exponential curve. It is very difficult to comprehend. Even I didn't realize till I did the math that the 64th day amount of rice that guy would get is actually more than the amount of rice we have currently in today's world. So and so what is happening now? Suddenly, knowledge is increasing exponentially. It has been actually, but the effect of that is becoming clear now because now we are at the later stage of that doubling curve. So, so these are some of the main innovations that has happened. There are still many like that. And what are the applications? The applications are smart factory, extreme automation, predictive maintenance, 3D printing, smart sciences, agriculture, F2F, or what they call farm to fork, and all those things are happening. Now, of course, like I'm sure many of you are actually working on this kind of work, and there is a lot of scope, especially in developing countries, to do a lot of applied research to bridge these gaps using this kind of new technologies. But if you look at the papers, most of the papers are actually incremental, except for one or two. Most of the papers are really incremental. There's nothing really drastically innovative. There is nothing disruptive in most of these innovations. But the effect comes in the fact that this knowledge doubling curve. Even though they're all incremental, too many of these incremental innovations are happening at the same time. So each one is incremental, a small innovation, but together we are getting so many things that it is creating this avalanche of technological innovations. And that is what we can call as Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is not about IoTs, it's not about sensors or just AI or genetics. Industry 4.0 is the effect where exponential number of innovations are happening in a very short span of time, thereby creating unimaginable application of technology in making things better. So that is one part. Now let us look at challenges of Industry 4.0. Yes, technological innovations are all good, but we have seen that technological innovations alone cannot really create an revolution. So we have to think now in terms of prosperity and wealth for people comparable in magnitude to that was brought by the previous revolution. As I was saying, we should think in what way can we actually plan a 10-year plan so that these technological revolutions will make the common Indian at least 5 times richer. And that's a big promise to make. Even Modi ji has not made that kind of promise. So we have to think in those kind of terms. And technology is not enough for any industrial revolution to happen. So it has to be about common people. So unless policies and principles are in place, it will only be technological revolution, not a revolution. And the trouble is that with the current pace of revolutions and innovations, what it will end up doing is that it will end up increasing the gap between the rich and the poor. The poor will become more and more poor, the rich get more and more rich. And that is never good for any society. That only can cause real revolutions and bloodshed and all those things. Let's not go there. 3 main challenges that we can actually foresee now in terms of Industry 4.0. Systems thinking. Because innovations are happening all over the place, all over the domains, we need people, we need our students to think in a more broader way. We need our students, we need our graduates to be able to understand the mutual impact of each action or of each innovation or each design. Secondly, we should be able to empower the citizens, not direct them. So the laws or the regulations that we're talking about, they should be so that they are not about restricting them, rather empowering them. One good example about that would be the European Union's AI regulation. And lastly, the regulations should enforce or at least empower people to follow values and ethics. So ethics should become one of the fundamental things in the new era of innovation and engineering. And okay, now let's quickly go through Industry 5.0. People have been trying to throw phrases all the time because they try to say, okay, let me use that first, then maybe people will think I'm great. So this phrase, this line from Alice in Wonderland. So Humpty Dumpty says that when I use a word, it means just what I choose it to mean, neither more nor less. People are trying to use word very loosely. So, but if you think, we have discussed few of the challenges of Industry 4.0, and one part of Industry 5.0, or one thing, one of the initiatives about Industry 5.0 is the European Union's Industry 5.0 white paper, which tries to tackle these three challenges. And that is why I think that's a good thing to accept as Industry 5.0. But again, it's not really something drastically different. So at best, we can call it Industry 4.3.4, whatever. It's not really a big new addition in that. But there are a few things here. The three main pillars in the Industry 5.0 white paper by the European Union. One is human-centric. So they want the innovations, they want the implementations to be human-centric. Secondly, agility and resilience. This is something that has become very clear during COVID. I'm showing this example. So this is an IMU we are using for the buoys that we are designing for Antarctica missions. And suddenly during COVID, I'm pretty sure many of you also experienced that this drastic shortage of hardware. We could not get it. We had to redesign everything to fit a new IMU that we chose, which was there available in the stock. But the problem is that nobody can guarantee that that IMU will be available when we are trying to redesign the board 1 year down the line. So that has really kicked us to appreciate the value of resilience. Any design, any new factory, any new product that you are designing, you should think of how to make it resilient. Make the design so that it should not be dependent on one product. Even if it is, at least make the PCB so that you should be able to replace that with another chip quite easily without completely redesigning everything. So again, Industry 5.0 focuses on agility and resilience in terms of standards and processes to embed resilience in every design. Lastly, policies to make prosperity profitable. So that's a very powerful phrase, making prosperity profitable. Mostly what we think is that helping others, charity, doing good for the environment or climate or the earth, these are thought as good things. But then usually we think that people who do this kind of good things are usually saintly people, like people who don't really care about money. That is not a sustainable way to create change. Any change is possible only when good things are also creating money. So we have to think hard on how to make prosperity profitable, how to make laws or regulations which will enforce people to exploit new technologies, to innovate new technologies, to make prosperity profitable, so that they can also earn money by making good things. I'll give two examples. This is one example, this POS, mining and sustainability of metal. It was passed in the UK Parliament last year. Not passed, it was drafted. It has many interesting things about mining and metal. One of the implications of this, if it becomes a law, will be that any company which is sourcing its metal from an unethical mine cannot trade in London Stock Exchange. For example, let us say Audi in one of the factories is getting its iron from some mine, let us say in India. And let us assume that that mine in India has actually caused lots of damage to the neighboring environment. Then that mine is actually an unethical operation. So this will mean, once this become a law, that Audi, because it uses that metal, cannot trade on London Stock Exchange. That's a huge blow. Then every big company now will try to make sure how to make sure that the metal that they're getting are from ethical mining and unethical mines. And this will create tremendous opportunity for innovators. For example, when you talk about environmental damage, one way to assess that is to send somebody there. But anywhere you have got human beings, that system can be corrupted. So what we can do rather is to use satellite data to estimate the amount of damage that is being done by any mining industry, and that can be then released to these companies, which can decide whether this mining company, this metal, is ethical or not. Yeah, and the second example I'll give you. Yesterday, I visited an incubation center here in Sweden, and they were talking to me. I was talking to this lady who was in charge of all the startups which are working in the aquatic environment. So they call it green innovation. And one of the companies that has become profitable now, what they are doing is they have started shrimp farming, prawn farming in Sweden. Now, prawns are usually, they can only thrive in a hot temperature. Sweden is a very, very cold country. So they have innovated both in terms of the breed of prawn, also in terms of designing the chambers and all those things with lots of sensors, so that the prawn can actually thrive there. Not only that, they also have created a sustainable way where they are using the excreta from the prawn to create manure for the plants. And those plants are used to feed into an algae plant. And that algae plant is becoming the feed for the plants. So it's becoming a circular thing now, each one feeding to the other one. And because they are now producing fresh prawn here, that prawn, even though it's a bit costlier than the prawns that gets imported, it's much fresher. So it is also, they're also getting money from that. So this is about how to make prosperity profitable. So that thereby, they're not only creating this economy which fosters, like these algae, they capture a lot of carbon dioxide. That way it's good. And when somebody gets prawns, let us say from India, all the way to Sweden, imagine the amount of carbon emission that happens just to carry these things to here. And they're all being frozen all the time. That also means energy. So having fresh prawns, fresh vegetables, fresh things is always much better than consuming imported vegetables, imported meat, or anything like that. So that way they are also causing decrease in carbon emission. So that's also another beautiful example I wanted to discuss. I think I'm nearing my time, end of my talk. Let me just quickly talk about a few of the work that we are doing in my group. One of the reasons why both India and Africa are relatively poor is corruption. And as I was saying just now, wherever you have got human being in the loop, that system is corruptible. Now, how can we remove the human being? So that is why we are trying to do some work in the use of blockchain to mitigate corruption. Another big problem all over the world nowadays, not just India or Africa, is marine pollution. We recently started a big project with partners from Turkey, Romania, and Malta, where we are working on the development of sensors, unmanned waterways, and AI algorithms to detect, recognize, and track marine pollutions. Another major backbone in 4IR is telecommunication, because that's actually the connecting fiber, literally speaking, which makes things happen. And one of the problems with telecommunication is the bandwidth, because the bandwidth is so costly. And for those who may not know, the cost of 10 megahertz of band costs 10 billion US dollars. So when they license these bands, they're like really, really, really costly. So the idea is about how, and with that kind of cost, you can never democratize bandwidth. You can never democratize telecommunication. So the two things that we are trying to do, number one, in the use of TV white space to support inexpensive internet. We actually created internet hotspots in the slums in 3 places in South Africa. And another thing that we have started working on is what I call as communication-based sensing. So basically trying to use the same bandwidth, not just for communication, also for sensing. And that is, some people also call it channel impulse response-based sensing or channel response-based sensing. But I was the first person to do this work on using channel equalization block of communication systems to sense the environment. The first patent I filed in 2013, and since then I have tried this sensing using GSM, LTE, and now one of my PhD students in IIT Hyderabad is working on 5G comsense. And currently it has become so popular. I'm not saying because of me, because usually people try to ignore innovators from India and Africa, but at least the whole idea is becoming very popular nowadays, even though that was my first patent, was the first in this area. Now it's going to become a part of the 5G and 6G standards. And another pain point in mineral-rich developing countries, both India and South Africa, is mineral processing, because mineral processing creates a lot of waste that are environmentally quite bad. I wrote the processing, and then one of the projects I did with an aluminum recycling plant in South Africa, in which we developed some sensors and AI to find out the quality of aluminum as well. Buildings consume 40% of world energy. So if our buildings are leaky, which are the case in most buildings in India, then we are going to lose energy, even though that's like 100 rupees per person. You add them all together, it's a lot of money. Not only money, it's a lot of carbon emission as well. So I started this work a while back, almost 2 years back, where we started the work on the use of IR cameras mounted on drones to do surveillance of buildings to detect heat leaks. And now the city of Trollhättan in Sweden, they have shown a lot of interest in this product, and we have proposed a new project where we will be making this actually a product that the city can use on a regular basis. That's all. I hope I haven't taken too much extra time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Amit. It is